season. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike out anybody, didn't give up any home runs. But yeah, I mean, he didn't get an out. I mean, he struggled. And then David Hernandez came in and threw a perfect ninth inning. Then the Reds had a little bit of a rally in the ninth. Had guys on first and second, but just couldn't muster anything. So the Reds ended up losing 4-2. Okay, so that's the weekend the review part of the podcast. Now I'm going to give out weekly awards. As far as MVP, the Reds offense was pretty quiet all week, so it's kind of hard to find an MVP. But I'm going to give it to Jesse Winker as far as hitting. He had the best average on the team for the week in a reasonable sample size. You know, there was a couple guys that had like a 333, but they only had like 3 or 4 at bats. You know, so Jesse Winker batted .250, had a double, had two walks. He had a 400 on base percentage, and then he also had a couple really nice catches throughout the week. Yeah, he had the one where Amir Garrett was pitching against the Nationals on Sunday. He jumped up against the wall and caught that ball, and then he had a sliding catch down the left field line last night in the game, which was honestly one of the best catches of the year by anybody on the Reds so far, or one of the best defensive plays. And then the Cy Young of the week goes to Luis Castillo. He improved his record to 6-1 and lowered his ERA to 2.38 on the season. Yeah, I mean, he had a really, really good performance. I mean, he retired his last 12 batters after giving up a leadoff homer, so that was really, really nice. And then the reliever of the week was Amir Garrett. He threw 3.2 innings, gave up in 4 games. He gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, struck out 3, and held opponents to a .211 batting average. Really good week by him. Really, really impressive. Basically what he's done all year. And then the Gold Glove, as I've already said, was Winker. He had a couple of really nice catches, one against the wall, left field against the Nationals when Amir Garrett was pitching, and then the sliding catch down the left field line in last night's game against the Phillies. But yeah, I mean, So now we're going to talk about my thoughts on Anthony DeSclafani, and just what I think he needs to do to be just, you know, because I mean, when he's on. Like, he's one of our better pitchers. He's got an elite arm, you know. He can pitch better than a majority of our team, to be honest. But his biggest thing is he doesn't have the stuff to just blow it by guys. So he's got to be able to, you know, kind of, you know, live on the edges. He's got to live on the edges. He can't be right up the middle. But I mean, when he's locating his fastball and he stays out of the middle of the plate, and that two-seam has good comeback action, you know, where he can get that in on lefties or even on outside to righties. I mean, that inside to lefties, especially like big lefties like Josh Bell and stuff, they see that up and in pitch coming. You know, they do not want to hit that pitch. They don't want any part of that pitch. So, I mean, that thing would just go right back over the middle, or go right back up on the up and in corner to them and sit them down. He has the ability to go shutout every time. When he's on, I mean, you could easily see him going 6 shutout innings every time. But he's got top of the rotation ability when he is on. But if he is not on, he is not fun to watch. To say the least, he can really get killed with the long ball. I mean, he can, when he's on, you'll see it right away. That two-seamer is like his pitch, you know, like if he's locating that two-seamer, and his curveball's breaking, he's locating it and throwing for strikes. he's about as good as anybody on the team. But he only has 19 walks this year and 59 in a third inning. So yeah, I mean he does not walk a lot of guys, and that's historically speaking for him. He's only got 2.88 walks per 9 innings, which is really good. And in his career, he only averages 2.43 walks per 9 in his career, which is well above league average. But the key for him is he has to live on the edges, and his stuff just isn't that good to where he can just blow it by guys. And then what happens when he doesn't live on the edges is he gives up 2.12 home runs per 9. Usually gets knocked out really, really early, which will kill our bullpen as well if we continue to have that all year. But last time out against the against the Cardinals, he looked really, really good. That was impressive. And then he's given up 14 home runs and 59.1 innings pitched this year. So I mean, he's on pace to give up like 40 home runs, and like that's just not good like at all. Like he's got to learn how to limit those. And I mean, that's as simple as just staying out of the middle of the plate, live on the edges, as I've said a million times. If he lives on the edges, he will be in this rotation for many years to come. If he does not, he will either find himself in the bullpen or being DFA'd, which, you never want to see, but, you know. But something interesting that I heard that I saw on the internet was when DeSclafani pitches on 6+ days rest. So if the Reds have like an off day in between his starts or something, or there's a doubleheader and his start gets pushed back a day or something like that, his ERA is 3.48, which I was thinking, if the Reds ever went to a 6-man rotation, I feel like he would be a big benefiter of that, because he is a guy that seems to wear out, and when he wears out, he tends to hang pitches, and he tends to get injured. As we know, he's had a lot of injuries in his career. But I mean, as long as he can continue to get outs every 5th day, like he did last time, then he should be in his rotation. It'll be interesting once Wood comes back to see, who gets taken out. My best guess would be either him or Malley. If they're kind of playing neck and neck, then I would probably say Malley will, just because Disco's got more of the experience, and he's older, and he's got more to prove, I guess you could say. Like, but you've always got Malley, who can always come up from AAA, get a start or two in for you. But I mean, Malley's pitched really good, really developed good breaking ball during the off season, as well as that split finger fastball. But yeah, I mean, Malley's got a good split finger fastball, as well as a curveball, which will really, really benefit him. But the thing is, too, I mean, DeSclafani, I feel like could also really benefit out of the bullpen, because he could stay a little fresher, a couple innings or an inning every time out. Do that 3 times a week. That's only like 3 innings a week. That's 3 really, really good innings, But the only problem with that is, the home run ball would worry me a little bit with him, because he comes in, little blooper and then a blast, and that's 2 runs and an inning, like out of your bullpen. Do you really want that? So, who knows? To be honest, we'll see when Alex Wood comes back, or you never know, but maybe Alex Wood could go to the bullpen. We don't know yet. He has pitched there before. He did last year, and the Reds do look like they possibly need a lefty out of the bullpen. Next, I'm going to talk about what to do with Jose Iglesias long term. And this question I put on my Instagram page at RedsBatFlip. And this question comes in from Reds.Real. what role does Jose Iglesias have in the coming years for the Cincinnati Reds? And for me, it depends on how Peraza plays the rest of the year. If Peraza has another monster second half like he did last year, then I could definitely see them not re-signing Jose Iglesias. Because Peraza last year, he ended the year batting like 290, hit like 15 homers. But it just seems like Peraza, whenever there's somebody competing for a position with him, same thing happened with Scooter Gennett and Zach Cozart when a couple years ago, when there's people competing with Jose Peraza for playing time, he just does not seem to play well. When he's guaranteed a spot, like this year, um, he felt like Jose Peraza, after Scooter Gennett got injured, was told that he was going to play second base every day, and Jose Iglesias was going to play shortstop. Jose Peraza came out, played really good for like the first week, and then Derek Dietrich started lighting the show up, and he started getting a little bit more playing time at second. And I think Peraza felt Derek Dietrich's presence, and he felt that he had to do something special every time up to the plate or every play in the field. And when that happens, Jose Peraza just seems to just not play good. He seems to hit those shallow little pop-ups in the outfield, weak little ground balls. But I mean, when he's got the good body language, when he's hitting the ball, he's hitting the line drives everywhere. I mean, the dude can flat out rake. I mean, as we saw in the second half last year, when he was playing shortstop every day, once he got kind of comfortable, some playing time, some consistent, he's like, all right, yeah, this is my spot for the future. He was hitting line drives all over the place. He was even hitting home runs. He hit I think 14 home runs last year. But so yeah, I mean, we were thinking, yeah, man, he's the future shortstop of this organization. But which I still do think that he could do one day. But the Reds did just draft some good shortstops, a lot of infielders with high upside. So we'll see what happens as far as that. We will see. But yeah, I mean, if Peraza has a monster second half, I don't see them bringing him back. But it also could depend on if they re-sign Gennett or not. Because if Scooter Gennett leaves, then Peraza could stay and play second every day, and Jose Iglesias could play shortstop, which would work out perfectly. If they keep Scooter though, and they couldn't re-sign Iglesias, then Peraza could play shortstop every day. Peraza can be a utility. He can play shortstop, second, and all three outfield positions. I don't know about right. I mean, I'm sure he can, but I know he can play left and center. But yeah, I mean, we'll see as far as that. But my thoughts on what we should do with Jose Iglesias. Sorry about that. My thoughts are that we should sign him to a team-friendly deal. But I wouldn't, go out and sign him to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Like, that just ain't worth it. You got Peraza, who can more than hold his own, especially with consistent playing time, is just going to produce and produce and produce and produce for this team. But I think the biggest thing is you can't have Peraza having people come up, making him all nervous. You just gotta let Peraza play. Give Peraza 5-6 days a week. He should be playing 6 days a week. Peraza should. Just let him hit. Let him hit, get comfortable. Playing for a couple months. Just let him get comfortable. I mean, Jose Iglesias, though, he's one of the best defensive shortstops that I've ever seen. And he's a great clubhouse guy. You know what you're getting at the very least. On offense, a 250 hitter, not much pop, but 250, decent on base percentage. Just an average bat, but a more than capable defender. But yeah, and I mean, he's still only 29, so he's a few really productive years left in him, possibly. So we'll see as far as that. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would do with Jose Iglesias. Hold on a second. Let me grab a drink.